If you've got money sitting in a regular savings account right now, there's a real chance you're losing out on hundreds of pounds every year without even knowing it. And the fix is simpler than you think. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to explain exactly what an ISA is, why it matters, and what you should actually do with one. No jargon, no fluff, just the stuff that actually makes a difference. Let's start with the problem, because most people have no idea this is happening to them. Say you've got £10,000 sitting in a standard savings account earning 5% interest. That's £500 a year in interest. Sounds fine, but here's what most people don't realise. As a basic rate taxpayer, HMRC takes 20% of that interest once it exceeds your personal savings allowance. That's £100 quietly disappearing every single year without you doing anything wrong. Now compound that. Over 10 years, factoring in growth and tax, you lose over £1,400 compared to someone who put that exact same money inside a tax-free wrapper. Same amount, same interest rate, just a different account type. And the painful part is that most people never even notice it happening, because it's deducted automatically before the interest ever hits your account. You never see the money leave, but it does, every single year. That difference is entirely avoidable, and that's exactly what an ISA solves. An ISA stands for Individual Savings Account, but forget the name. What it really is a wrapper, a tax-free wrapper that sits around your money and protects it from HMRC. Here's why that matters. In the UK, if you earn interest on money in a regular bank account, you pay income tax on that interest once it crosses a certain threshold. And if you invest money and it grows, you pay capital gains tax on the profits. An ISA eliminates both of those entirely. Whatever your money earns inside an ISA, interest, dividends, investment growth, is yours. The government doesn't touch it. Every UK adult gets an ISA allowance of £20,000 per tax year. That resets every April. Use it or lose it. You can't carry it forward. That £20,000 allowance is flexible. You don't have to put it all in one place. You can split it across different ISA types, however works best for you. A common approach might look something like this: £6,000 into a cash ISA as your accessible emergency fund, £10,000 into a stocks and shares ISA for long-term investment growth, and £4,000 into a lifetime ISA to take full advantage of the government bonus. That's the full £20,000 working for you. All of it sheltered from tax, all of it building towards something real. The key point is that you're in control of how you split it. There's no single right answer. The right answer is the one that fits where you actually are right now. There are 4 main types of ISA, and it's worth knowing which one is which. First, the cash ISA. This works like a regular savings account, except the interest is tax-free. Low risk, easy access, but the returns are modest. Good for your emergency fund or short-term savings. Second, the stocks and shares ISA. This is where your money is invested in funds, shares or bonds. Higher risk than cash, but historically delivers significantly better long-term returns. This is what most people in their 20s should be seriously considering. Third, the lifetime ISA or LISA. This one is specifically designed for either buying your first home or saving for retirement. The government adds a 25% bonus on top of whatever you put in, up to £1,000 free per year. If you're under 40 and haven't bought a home yet, this one deserves your attention. Fourth, the Innovative Finance ISA. This involves peer-to-peer lending. Higher potential returns but considerably more risk. Worth understanding, but not where most beginners should start. Let's look at the cash ISA more closely, because it's the most straightforward starting point. The best easy access cash ISAs right now are paying between 4.5% and 5%. Put £10,000 in, earn £500 in interest, and because you're inside an ISA, you keep every single penny of that £500. No tax return required, no 20% disappearing to HMRC. Compare that to a standard savings account at the same rate, where a basic rate taxpayer keeps roughly £400 after tax. That's £100 difference per year on just £10,000. The gap grows significantly as your savings grow. Now here's where things get genuinely powerful. The stocks and shares ISA doesn't earn interest, it invests. Your money goes into assets like index funds, which track the performance of the entire stock market rather than betting on individual companies. The UK stock market has returned an average of around 7% per year over the last 30 years. Inside an ISA, Every penny of that growth is yours. No capital gains tax when your investment grows. No dividend tax on income. When you come to withdraw, nothing owed to HMRC. Think about what that means in practice. Outside an ISA, if your investments grew by £50,000, you could owe thousands in capital gains tax the moment you sold. Inside an ISA, you sell, you withdraw, and it's yours, clean. That's 7% compounds year after year, completely untouched. The lifetime ISA might be the most underused financial tool available to people under 40 in the UK. Here's how it works. You put in up to £4,000 per year. The government automatically adds a 25% bonus on top. That's up to £1,000 of completely free money every single year just for saving. Over 5 years, that's £5,000 the government has given you for doing nothing more than saving money you were probably going to save anyway, and that's before any investment growth on top. You can use it to buy your first home, on a property up to £450,000, or withdraw it tax-free from age 60. The one rule, you must open the account before you turn 40. If you're in your 20s and reading this, you have less than 20 years of eligibility left. Every year you wait is another £1,000 of free money you don't collect. So what should you actually do? Here's the order that makes the most sense. First, build your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses, in a cash ISA or a high-interest easy access account. This comes before you invest anything. It's your financial safety net. Second, open a stocks and shares ISA. Vanguard, Fidelity and Trading 212 are all solid options with very low fees. Pick a broad global index fund, set up a monthly direct debit and leave it alone. Third, if you're under 40 and saving for a first home, open a lifetime ISA alongside it. Even if you can only put in a small amount each year, the government bonus compounds alongside your investment growth. It's genuinely hard to beat. Let's make this real with actual numbers. If you put £200 a month into a stocks and shares ISA from age 25, assuming the historical average return of 7% per year, you'd have roughly £520,000 by age 65, tax-free, every penny of it. The same £200 a month into a standard savings account, taxed, gets you closer to £290,000. The difference is over £230,000. That is not a small number. That is a second property. That is financial independence. That is the retirement you actually want rather than the one you settle for. That's the cost of not using the wrapper. And this chart shows exactly why. The two lines start almost identical in your 20s. But as the years go on, the tax drag on the regular savings account slows its growth, while the ISA compounds uninterrupted. By your 60s, the gap isn't just noticeable, it's life-changing. This is what 30 years of tax-free compounding actually looks like. And it all starts with opening a single account. Before we finish, 3 mistakes worth avoiding. The first is keeping everything in cash. A cash ISA is the right choice for short-term money. But for anything you won't need for 5 or more years, cash loses to inflation over time. Long-term money belongs in investments. The second is missing the April deadline. Your £20,000 ISA allowance expires every April 5th. It cannot be carried forward. A year of unused allowance is a year of tax-free growth you can never get back. The third is choosing high-fee funds. A fund charging 1.5% annually instead of 0.2% sounds like a small difference. Over 30 years on a growing portfolio, that difference compounds into tens of thousands of pounds lost. Always check the ongoing charge figure before you invest. There is no shortage of good platforms to open an ISA with. Vanguard is the simplest. Low fees, excellent index funds, straightforward interface. Fidelity gives you a wider range of funds and is worth considering as your portfolio grows. Trading 212 has no annual fee at all and lets you start with as little as £1, ideal if you're just getting started. All 3 are FCA regulated. All 3 offer stocks and shares ISAs. All 3 are free to open. That's the ISA, simple in principle, genuinely powerful in practice. Time is the single most valuable asset you have right now. A 25-year-old who invests modestly will almost always outperform a 40-year-old who invests aggressively, not because of discipline, not because of skill, but purely because of the mathematics of compound growth over time. The best time to open an ISA was yesterday. The second best time is today. Next week we're going deeper on the lifetime ISA, whether it's actually worth it, the catches most people miss, and exactly how to decide whether it's right for you. If this video helped, subscribe so you don't miss it. New videos every week, every one of them worth your time.